Good afternoon, everyone who is watching us. You live on GVL TV. Today, we are going to take on perspective to reflect on Uganda's general election. So the good thing with the studio, I'm not just alone. I'm together with the guest, and he's always famous in this channel. So we are going to listen from him. I want him to at least look into this following analysis. What has happened in the election previously, the election of 2026? Has it been a free and fair election? And what are the possible things that Ugandans faced which they never expected? Number one, breakdown of internet and very many other things. So I want the political analyst to analyze for us this, and we see how we are going to look into it. Let's dive inside deep. Maybe you first greet the people and talk to them, then we continue with our questions and answers.
Thank you, Patrick. Fellow countrymen, good afternoon. Mungas Fu. We thank God for a beautiful country, Uganda. Uganda is a great nation of very resilient people, hardworking. We keep praying for unity and peace. Uganda is our motherland, and we must do everything to make sure that Uganda prospers and that it's stable. It will depend on every Ugandan. The efforts of every Ugandan matters. This country is not for President Museveni, it's not for the CDF, his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. It's not for police or security, no, it's for Ugandans. And we must do everything to make sure that Uganda is stable and promote peace and unity. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Did you mention your name earlier?
Yeah, my name is Queen Yabi Ruhamya Fred, an apostle and a son of the revolution. We love this great nation, Uganda.
Very good.
Thank you.
So we are talking to the right person who understands what it means to govern people, what it means to be a leader. So Uganda has election. I want you to reflect on this very well. Number one, was it a free and fair?
The verdict has been made. Me as a person, I have reservations. But the elections are over. There were so many vices and so many shortcomings. The so-called machines never worked, biometric machines. There were incidences of violence, which is unnecessary. So Electoral Commission has not proven itself. I think people like Byabakama and those who had the Electoral Commission, if our country was following the laws, after these elections, Byabakama should be Nikitari or Ruzira, because we wasted 100 billion. There are many people, including MPs, including experts on human rights and governance, they had said most likely these machines would not work. Including Ofono Opondo, who is the government spokesperson. He had expressed his reservation that the machines would not work. Dr. Sarah Birete, who is now in Ruzira, for speaking the truth. The director of Center for Good Governance had said most likely the machines would not work. And many other observers, analysts, politicians, top political leaders said most likely we are wasting resources, these machines will not work. And like typical of what happens in Uganda, wrong census figures, corruption, indecency, dishonesty, looting, poor performance, it came to pass that the machines never worked. So who is responsible for the billions that were spent on those machines? Who procured the machines? Why can they be arrested? I've heard that the CDF, the famous CDF, General Kinerugaba is fighting corruption. Why can't he advise the president, who was responsible for the procurement of photo machines, and you spend billions and you don't have roads? Teachers are not paid, doctors are not paid, and someone eats billions and brings photo machines, and eventually we lost 6 hours that we were waiting for machines to work, and they never worked anywhere in the country. So who was responsible for the procurement of the machines? Why can't they be arrested? Why can't that money be recovered from those who have now used that money to build houses, buy hotels, put it in foreign accounts? Why can't these people be arrested? Why should Byakagaba take people, Byabakama, Simon, the chairman of the Electoral Commission, and his technical people, the top team? Why can't they go to prison? Why can't these public resources be recovered? Is it business as usual? How can a whole exercise, which Byabakama and his team knew that we would have elections in 5 years, people had asked, why can't you first have demonstrations? Why can't we test these machines? How come they work in other countries? So who is responsible? Is it the president? Is it on the Electoral Commission? Who are involved in this exercise? What kind of parliament do we have? How can we have a parliament which is dysfunctional with a corrupt speaker? Why can't these machines, who was responsible for this? Why should we take Ugandans for granted? You buy machines that are faulty. People had already predicted that the machines will not work. And indeed, they never worked. And Byabakama is putting on a suit with tinted glasses, is paid billions, they have stolen billions, and it should be business as usual. And Uganda, Kampala has no roads, and the teachers are not paid, and doctors are not paid, and nurses, policemen are running everywhere. Instead of keeping law and order, they are fighting with young people. Of course, I want to appeal to young people. We don't need war, or we don't need to start fighting with security. But security should do its work. The work of police and the army is not stealing elections. It's not rigging. It's not fighting with young people. It's keeping law and order. The work of UPDF is to keep our borders secure. Your work is not to go and start stuffing boxes and what. So you are asking, what kind of elections have we had? There are reservations about these elections. I don't think Museveni got 71%. Even if he had won, perhaps maybe he got 52%. I am shocked that statesmen and great men like Mchamuntu end up getting 1% and other reasonable people. Chagulanyi definitely must have got more than 30%.
Even Chagulanyi, to my perception,
would have. And the others who have said Chagulanyi is the one who won election, is the one who got 71% and Museveni got 24%. I don't have facts or evidence to that, but I doubt whether Museveni has 71% who voted for you, because in most towns people don't vote for the president. The president has done so many good things, but after 40 years people are tired. They want change, positive change. So definitely I don't think that Museveni has 71%. No. Actually 70% of Ugandans no longer support NRM or Museveni. But I don't have evidence. But these elections were a sham. Most people don't believe in the results. That's why there is tension. That's why government is removing internet. The security is fighting everybody. They are arresting the MPs like Chivumbi, that is a terrorist. Is there evidence? What is terrorism? Is politics terrorism? Babi Chagulanyi is crying in the house that she has no food with the people she lives with. Chagulanyi is in hiding. Chagulanyi, Mr. Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert Akabobi Wai is a national leader. He should be respected. The new people who are in prison must be released. Chagulanyi should be respected as a national leader. I want to appeal to Bobby Wine, wherever you are, come back. Ugandans are behind you. If they arrest you, It's okay. Ugandans,
it's where Ugandans can start from.
Ugandans will start from there. Hiding is not a solution. You come out, let Muhozi or whoever it is, or the father, the president, General Museveni, the mighty General, arrest you and bring evidence of what they are arresting you for, because campaigning as a national leader or as a president of NUP is your right as a Ugandan.
Yes.
So all these prisoners, Dr. Chiza Besigye and others and NUP young people should be released. Unless they have other crimes. If the crime is participating in politics, politics is not a crime. Uganda is not a monarchy. Uganda is not a personal estate for anybody. President Museveni has made his contribution. He must respect the constitution. He must respect Ugandans. The son, the CDF, should make sure that there is security as a CDF. He must respect the laws of this country. Otherwise, if we keep pushing people against the wall, in the future, younger people are not going to allow anybody for you to think that you have guns or you have power. We had governments before. President Museveni was despised in the 70s. He was called all sorts of names: a refugee, a bandit, a nobody, a vagabond, non-Ugandan, a Rwandese. Eventually, Museveni took over and the young people went to the bush, and now they have dominated this country for 40 years. Unless you don't want to run from history, you must know that this country belongs to Ugandans. We have had enough wars. We don't need more bloodshed.
That is it.
Mr. President, respect the laws of this land. I don't know what kind of parliament we have. How can parliament be there? By now they should be assessing what's happening in the country. They must justify why there is no internet. People are suffering. There are people who are going to die because mobile money was switched off for a week.
Yes.
There are people who are going to die because internet has been switched off. There are some businesses that are going to collapse, small businesses, because of removing internet. Internet is the way the world is moving now. Technology is the way the world is moving. Look at the youth unemployment. Most of the young people are using internet. I'm not saying they should use internet to incite violence or like the president claims or others, or to cause security. No, nobody wants security. All of us want peace. But Mr. President, you don't love this country more than Patrick loves it, or more than I love it, or more than people in Achori, or in Guru, or in Kisoro, in Bundibujo. We all love this country.
The same.
This is our country. It's not, this is not your estate, it's not your private business. So the way you love this country, the way the CDF loves this country, is the way I love it, is the way Patrick Akumu loves it, is the way people in West Nile, in Guru, in Kitugum, in Achoriland, in Bukedia, in Bugisu, in Buganda, in Kigezi, in Toro, in Bunyoro, we all love this country. And even those of you who claim that you fought, you did not fight alone. There were many people. We lost 500,000 people in Ruel during the war. It caused insecurity in northern Uganda. In northern Uganda, we lost 20 years. People were in IDPs. Government lost resources. So don't take this country back to dark days. Let's have peace. Let's respect the laws of this land. Mr. President, consider handing over power peacefully. Okay, Electoral Commission now has declared that you have won. Let's respect those results. But make sure that you don't push others to the wall. Let Chaguranyi, let the same Jews, let the Muwanga Chivumbis, let other parties, the Besigye's and others, let them have freedoms. Let's have peace. Let's have unity. Let's have development. What this country needs is development. Mr. President, how do you explain that Kampala has no roads or proper infrastructure after 40 years in power? So we must answer the critical questions that this is facing this country. What are we doing about youth unemployment? We have lost billions in 3 months. I am sure that we must have lost around 20 trillion in elections. And what was happening? Violence, dances by the speaker and some ministers and top neck members. We have lost seed schools. Those would have been city schools. We have lost hospitals. We would have built industries in every region of Uganda so that there is youth employment. So this country needs peace and development. The results have been announced. I have my own reservations. Other people have their own reservations. You, the NRM people, are celebrating. Congratulations. Most Ugandans don't believe these results. Mr. President, you had said that the biometric machines would work because for you think that there is rigging. Yes. You said in last elections, Loop stole your 2 million votes. Now, the machines have not worked. People, Loop and others are saying, you have stolen the victory of Kyagulanyi. Me as a Ugandan, me as a patriot, me as an adult Ugandan, I don't have the evidence. Jeno Mugisha Muntu, like I've said, has also said he has no evidence. Not that he necessarily celebrates what has come out, the outcome of the results, but he has said there is no evidence. So since we have no evidence, Mr. President, we congratulate you and the NRM. But you must go back to the drawing board and answer the critical questions. What do Ugandans need? Where is the fundamental change that we talked about when we were beginning? Some of us were young people, now we have broad head. You are in the evening of your life. Mr. President, how do you want to be remembered? What kind of country do we want as Ugandans, as 49 million Ugandans, 56 tribes? What we want is development, peace, it's industrialization, it's technology, high-level technology, it's commercialized agriculture. What we have 4 ministers in agriculture. What are they doing? What are the achievements in the last 5 years, 10 years, 40 years in agriculture? We say we are an agricultural country. Where is the development in agriculture? What are people doing in health? What are the innovations? There is a woman called Musonero, where billions are spent that she's manufacturing cars. We can't make toothpicks. We can't have a bicycle. We can't have boda and you are manufacturing cars and buses. Madam Musonero, before you manufacture cars, where we don't have a comparative advantage, why don't we first do simple things? 50% of our girls don't have basics, not even pads. The wife to the president, the powerful Queen Madam Janet Kataha Museveni, you promised 10 years ago that girls are going to have sanitary pads. 50% of our girls are struggling to have sanitary pads. And 10 billion is stolen in this country. Every year, 10 trillion is stolen. The president says he knows people who are stealing. The IGG says she knows who is stealing. So why can those people be arrested? That money is recovered. We build roads, infrastructure. We pay our teachers well. We pay our nurses. We build industries and factories and cottage industries in northern Uganda, in western Uganda, in eastern Uganda, so that we reduce on youth unemployment. Part of the problem why our politics is toxic, why there is this violence, is because most young people don't have. In every town in Uganda now, because I sit in Rubaga here, I sit in Mengo, I sit in Chisenyi, I sit in Ntinda, many women in Kansanga, many women are into prostitution.
And it's very serious.
I don't think that these people enjoy prostitution. Okay, some of them, it's their work. They enjoy selling themselves. But I'm sure 60% of the people in prostitution, in Rubaga, in Mengo, in Natete, in Kansanga, in Ntinda, in Kororo, on Kampala Road, in Kisenyi, in Owino, in other parts, in Mbare, in Mbarara, these people are in prostitution because of desperation, because of poverty. 70% of the women and girls in prostitution are there because of poverty and desperation. These are the issues that Parliament should be discussing. These are the issues that cabinet should be. So, before just stamping that you've got 71% from election, that you've got victory, that you want to arrest everybody, that people are terrorists, that people are criminals, you start arresting people who are speaking about good governance, about clean leadership, about human rights. The solution is not arresting people unless they are criminals. I want to appeal to the president and those in security and those who are concerned that let's have systems that work. Let's have a judiciary that works, that promotes law and order. Let's have a cabinet that is effective. Let's have a parliament that is functional, that is effective, that is serving this country. In the future, in near future, we should amend the constitution and have 1 MP per district. We don't need 600 MPs. What's their work? A half of them don't know what they are doing. I've said this before. I want to repeat it. A half of the cabinet are ignorant. A half of our MPs are useless. Let's have 1 MP per district. Let the resources that are wasted, 3 trillion, is spent on parliament. A half of that can be saved and put in service delivery, and put on improving education, and put on improving agriculture. Mr. President, you've made your contribution. You fought for liberty. We thank God that you've made your contribution. You've made significant contribution. But for you now to think that you own the country, that you have the majority, that you have the army. One time there is this lady called Evelyn Anita. The time she said, Maje, we have Maje. Maje are Ugandans. Maje is not a private company or security firm that you hire. These are Ugandans. Their mothers are suffering. Their sisters are suffering. Their wives are suffering. Their children are suffering. Look at the way policemen live, whom you are using to terrorize people. Most of them live like animals. Look at the accommodation of police. A half of the army is suffering. It's the top people who are stealing. So, Bwana Muhoza, as you fight corruption, as your father fights corruption, corruption should not only be fought in the army, it should be fought everywhere. This country has enough resources. We have oil, we have minerals, we have Arab land. But the challenge is corruption. The challenge is routine. The challenge is leadership crisis. Uganda is our motherland. Uganda is a country of 49 million Ugandans, 56 tribes. Let's promote peace. Release noob young people unless they're involved in criminality. But if they have been arrested because of politics, release them. Release Dr. Kizza Besigye. Dr. Kizza Besigye made monumental contribution to the struggles of this country. Not only during the NRA and NRM Bush war in Ruwero, he made a contribution as a minister, he made a contribution as a political commissar. Why is Besigye in prison? If there is evidence after a whole year, how comes that the evidence has not been used in the court so that there is a judgment? Why is human rights activist Dr. Sarah Birete in prison? Wow. Sarah Birete was speaking about good governance. She was speaking about human rights. She was speaking about clean leadership. 2, how many are you going to arrest? Because eventually, it will not only be Matembe speaking, or Dr. Sarah Birete, or Dr. Kizza Besigye. Many people are going to come up. If President Museveni, who was advised by Northerners in 1970s, by people in Bushenyi, like Rwakasisa and the Rwangarangas and the Rubihayas and others, as nobody, as a vagabond, as a bandit, and Dr. Milton Obote, you overwhelmed them. Like Otafira has warned before, the fact that young people could take up arms and overthrow government, and now you've dominated for 40 years, young Ugandans can reject separation, oppression, dictatorship, and they will wake up and we shall have a revolution. But that's not necessary. What we do is to promote peace, constitutionalism, human rights. Let's respect each other. Let's live in peace. I've heard people, Ugandans, talking about tribes.
Mm.
What's wrong with your tribe? Talk about religion. What's wrong with your religion? My religion, my tribe should be about development, should be about transformation, should be about freedoms. Uhuru should be about peace and unity. This nation lost resources, time, lives because of bad politics. And it's what some people are practicing. What kind of leaders are we voting? If you are going to have politics based on violence, I saw in Ruhamya and Sembabule, where there is a fairly retired soldier, Mzee Rwashande, who was standing with Sechikubo, you know, a very powerful MP for 2 decades, and Sodo, who is using, they are using guns and sticks. Should we be using sticks and guns in 21st century? Those who are recycling MPs, who promote violence, who promote criminality, whether it's in Ruhamya, whether it's in Sembabule, whether it's in Kampala, history is a harsh judge. Mr. Rwashande, Sodo, and others who are using violence. I also saw in Bukanga, where they were burning cars and beating people. You should learn from history. Never ignore lessons of history. Because tomorrow you will not have those guns. So either you will have to go to exile or prison. We must stop violence. And most of these MPs have been appealing to Ugandans. What somebody is not able to do in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 50 years, he can't do it in the next 5 years. So one of the things that we should do in this country is to have term limits. 10 years is enough for any leader. So one of the contributions, Mr. President, that you can do in your next 5 years is to make sure that we go back to the
drawing board.
Restore term limits. Reduce the size of parliament and cabinet. Let's have 1 MP per district. Let's have 20 or 24 ministers, both cabinet and state. Because what we need is not a big cabinet or 100 ministers or 82 like you have now. It's not a big 600 people. No. We need men and women who are patriotic, who are committed to serving the people. Can you call this parliament people's representative? Or they are just there to satisfy their stomachs? How do you say that an MP gets 40 million or 50 million per month and you are paying a teacher 400,000? They go to the same markets. How will the children of the teachers and the nurses and a policeman and a soldier who is a private, how are they going to study when the minimum school fees now is 1 million? What are we doing about the failed UPE and USE? Because by now, there is evidence, there is proper facts and information about the performance of UPE and USE. What are we doing about making it better? Why should Parliament spend 3 billion per day and yet we don't have roads in Kampala, the capital city? How can 10 trillion be stolen per year by a few people whom the president says he knows, and yet we have no tourism roads in the Bwindi, in Queen Elizabeth, in Chidepo, in other places? Because tourism is key to this country. Why shouldn't we have tourism roads?
Yes. So, as you've been reflecting on the election, I want you to quickly also look at the second election that came in, because it was totally had, it had very low turn up. What do you think frustrated the people not turning up to vote?
You see, like I told you, most people have misgivings. Look look at the turn up in the country. Around 40% of voters, registered voters, are the ones who voted. So already you can see that people are frustrated. They are not excited about elections. Some of them tell you that after all we know that they will be rigging. It's a waste of time. Others are saying the leaders are not useful. Let me just go and hustle. After all, voting doesn't make sense. So people have lost hope in elections. People have lost hope in leadership.
In democracy.
In democracy. So now when after presidential elections and now internet is down, mobile money is down, some people from Loop and some few other parties are saying that there has been rigging, that the president is not the one who has won, that the percent they have given him is exaggerated. He never got the 70%. Now when it came to the voting of Roa, to the councillors and the what, people are already tired because they are saying, after all, what is the role of councillors? Two, if they rigged in the presidential, even this one they are going to rig. So people are tired, people are frustrated, people are disgusted. They don't believe in democracy. But of course, that in itself has a problem. It's because there is no voter education, there is no sensitization. Electoral Commission is not doing its work properly. Parliament is not doing its work properly. Because otherwise, if you're Ugandan, you should know that this is your responsibility. It's your duty. It's your right to go and vote. Because now, if 60% are not voting, after all, the ones they will vote, what they vote, 40% are voting, whether you like them or not, they are going to be your leaders. So now it's a mistake for you not to turn up to vote. You should go and vote a leader of your choice. If there is rigging and they put leaders whom you've not voted, at least for you to have done your part, then in the future now we should look for a solution of, but if you don't go to vote and the 40% are going to vote for the people you don't want, they're going to be your leaders in the next 5 years. They're in charge of resources. So now you are like Chaco, you are dying 3 times. But Ugandans should turn up in the future. You should turn up in large numbers, vote for leaders of your choice, and protect the vote. Because you see, part of what Chagurani and the foot soldiers were saying, Karonde, Kakume, Kawat, it's because they did not fulfill what they had said. But in the future, go out and vote overwhelmingly in large numbers, a president of your choice, and we protect that vote. Because you see, there should be election reforms and the proper laws, and security should not interfere in the elections. For them, they should keep law and order and leave the election officials. Because like this electoral commission should be disbanded. This is a useless body now. They should re-advertise not only the job for the commissioners and Byabakama. Byabakama, you're a candidate for zero. We cannot waste billions of money on elections on biometric what, and you cannot deliver. Because if Byabakama was doing his work, because at the time Akabgai, me, I'm old enough. Akabgai, Stephen Akabgai, Mzee Stephen Akabgai, although there were few challenges in 1996, but Stephen Akabgai delivered credible elections because he could not allow the army or police to terrorize people. There are few incidences in Guru and Rukunjiri, but he managed. During 2001, they tried, but Byabakama has failed. I think if in terms of percentages, if you are to rate Byabakama, I think Byabakama has 10%. Akabgai was operating at 70%, and yet that time the technology was poor. They were using less resources. Byabakama was given all the money that he budgeted for. We wasted the money on biometric reward. Byabakama, you are a curse. You are a bad omen to this country. I'm disappointed. We have an IGP. You can't know where he is. I think he's under in a tunnel or somewhere hiding. Or maybe, having a nice time drinking beer or having pork. Is it Byakagaba? Byakagaba, are you an IGP or AOC chairman? So, Parliament, why? Because now it should be urgent that electoral commission, I mean the electoral laws and reforms that were proposed by High Court and the Baba's case so many years ago should be reviewed, because some of the mistakes that the electoral commission is doing and the police and the army is because there are gaps within the electoral laws.
All right, I heard you saying that for the next election, people should turn up massively to go and vote and protect their vote. But these are the people who have been so much disappointed for a long time. People are being disappointed. The same thing they tell them, come in massive. We saw people turn up massively to elect the presidential candidate. And by shock, the biometric machine did not work. Now, how do you think, what do you think government is supposed to bring in a plan for next election of 2031? And how do you think they should convince the people? Do you think people are ready to go and vote again the way this thing is running?
You see, Patrick, it's as if you are saying that now you are going to India or Congo or Zambia or Kenya. No, Uganda is our country.
Yes.
It's the land of our ancestors. It's the country that are going to bequeath to the future generation. So you cannot give up. When there was when the soldiers used to terrorize people and there was insecurity and there was killings, the younger Museveni is then with the Kategayas, with his comrades, with the Otafires and the others, rose up and fought for what they call democracy. We have had a number of reforms and changes over governments. It's because Ugandans stood up. So don't underestimate Ugandans. This is our country. This country does not belong to NRM. It doesn't belong to President Museveni or his family. It's for Ugandans. And that's why I am saying that Ugandans must love their country, defend it, demand for accountability, demand for freedoms, demand for democracy. And one of those things to do is voting. So, if there was voter education, because now MPs, if MPs were doing their work, and human rights bodies were doing their work, and the electoral commission was doing its work, people would know the importance of voting. You are saying that people turned overwhelmingly to vote for the president. It was more than councillors and the chairman and what, but even then, 60% of Ugandans never voted. So definitely there is a problem. There is a despondency. And I'm suggesting and appealing to fellow countrymen, this is your country. You are not going to go to Congo, Burundi, or India. No. This is your country. Protect it. Defend it. So what kind of leaders are you voting? Because if you are saying, assuming that President Museveni and his NM top people rigged the presidential elections, you are the ones who vote for your councillors, where they are speakers of the councils. You are the ones who vote for LC5 chairman. What kind of leaders are you voting? So
these people are voting, but because there is a rigging.
No, it's not that there is rigging on every level. Because I have been following politics for quarter century, for 25 years. People don't mind the kind of leaders they are voting. Because now, at times you find also, they buy you at 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. You know that someone is a criminal. You know that someone has forged papers. You know that somebody is a drunkard. You know that somebody is a land grabber.
Sorry.
And then you vote this person again. Someone is using sticks, beating people, shooting. You vote him as an MP or as the LC5 chairman. What do you expect from that MP? Is it the president responsible for your choice now in that case? 2, the constituency is yours, the district is yours. If all of you stood up or boycotted voting a criminal, a land grabber, a violent person, how will that person be able to rule you? But because you collude, you are part of the conspiracy, you are part of the failed leadership, you are part of the stupidity and imbecility in your area, you are responsible. Philosophers have said that society gets leaders it deserves. So we have a duty as Ugandans, as Africans. Look at what's happening in Congo. Look what happened recently in Tanzania. Tanzania has been a peaceful country since independence. But because of few selfish people, now Tanzania is also becoming a laughing stock like other African countries. Look at Kenya. If people have fought dictatorships of Moi and others, why now do you allow Ruto, President Ruto, take you back from where you came from? It should not be about Gen Z, the young people in Kenya or Tanzania or Uganda. No. This is our country. It's not about the young people. It's not about foot soldiers of Nup. It's about every Ugandan. We must demand clean leadership. We must demand good governance. So, whereas there are problems on the top, but people must care. You must wonder if an MP has not delivered in 5 years, you don't have clean water. There are no roads. The schools are not working. There are no drugs in hospitals. Are you waiting for Trump? Like some of you are here at the international community. Trump is going to come and remove the president. It is not about Trump. It's not about America. It's not about people of Russia. No. It's Uganda. The changes, the democracy, the country that we need, the constituency that you need, the district that you need, the service delivery, development will come from our sweat, from our efforts, from the leaders that we elect. Fellow countrymen, and it's in your rights. Even when somebody is an MP, or a district chairman, or a councillor, and he's a land grabber, he's a rapist, he's killing people, you stand up. You mean if a whole village, or if a whole district stood up and said you can't be our leader, would that person be a leader? Will the president impose him?
They aren't arresting. People try to stand up in several few areas, but
one of the problems is consciousness. People should be able to, you see that we have a challenge, Patrick.
Yes.
One is the civic competence. There is real civil, civil education. People must know their rights. The constitution is supposed to have been changed in local languages. The proper parliament by now, Constitution of 1995 to understand what are the rights of a citizen, what are the responsibilities, what are you supposed to do as a Ugandan. So this country is our country. We must demand accountability, and you have a duty. But if you say that, you see me, I'm not concerned, after all, I'm not a politician, after all, me, I never voted. Now, you are part of our problem. You are part of the problems. Because how will you blame a leader whom you never participated into voting? Two, if you are not voting a leader and yet you know that leadership is necessary, it's like taxes, we will pay taxes. So you must know that leaders are necessary. Where is the church? What are the roles of the church? But now the president and government is busy cracking down on NGOs, on human rights activists. Is it our problem? What is Uganda's problem? I'm writing a book on transformative leadership and good governance. What is Uganda's problem? Uganda's problem is failed leadership. It's corruption, endemic corruption. It's rooting. It's ignorance. Part of the problem why you are not voting, you may not realize, but it's because you are ignorant. Because a citizen, a patriotic citizen, knows that it is responsibility and duty to vote for the leaders. Because if you don't go to vote and you blame leadership, who is responsible? The best way is to vote. Keep voting for the leaders that you never have. It's what General Mugisha has been advocating for. General Mugisha, people have laughed at General Mugisha because they're saying, you see now, you see the percentages you get, you see. But Mugisha keeps telling people, you cannot give what you don't have. For him, leadership is continuous. It's like building.
Struggle.
Yeah, it's road under construction. Do your part. Are you doing your part as a citizen? If you're in villages, are you involved in Burundi Bwansi? Are you protecting the environment at the level where you are? What are you doing in your office where you are? What are you doing in the business where you are? What are you doing in your station of life? Because all of us cannot be MPs. All of us we can only have one president, we can only have few MPs, we can only have few ministers. But as citizens, what are we doing? Because by now, every Ugandan, through their collective leaders, if we had the proper leadership, would be condemning electoral commission. Because the electoral commission has let down Ugandans.
Surely.
We would be discussing with our OCs, police, where we live, and tell police, why are you terrorizing people? Because policemen are not Indians, they are not Chinese, they are Ugandans. We sleep with them in our houses. They are our parents, they are our uncles, they are our cousins. So before you blame the CDF, whom you may not reach, because maybe it's too far, you don't know where he is, how to get to him. Before you blame the president, who is now, has become too powerful, he's like a king. What kind of LC chairman do you have for the last 5 years, for the 10 years, who signs agreements and stamps for people who are stealing land? Isn't it the local LC chairman? Is it the president?
Are you aware?
Are you aware? Why do you vote that person again?
But this one is an exclamation. Do you know that if you are to look deeply, all the villages, all LCs are NRM? Are you aware about that?
No, they are Ugandans.
Yeah,
they should not be NRM. And it's not true that they are all NRM.
That is it. Move on and she.
No, it's not true. The majority are NRM, but they are not all of them are NRM. And even if they were NRM, they are Ugandans. And it's people who vote them. The NRM now calls itself a mass party. But that's not the issue. There is a time, during UP's time when we were children in the 1980s, UPC thought, they used to say UPC everywhere. You remember? UPC everywhere, Karugerere, Uganda, what? UP thought they were indispensable. And they also thought they were a mass party. Where is UPC? So it's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. This NRM, during the 1980s, Museveni did not win votes in Nyabushozi. Kutesa beat him. Museveni got less than 5%. They got 1 MP in UPM. So this